I got involved with the AT&T network operations in the late 80s. I had worked for AT&T basically as an AV helper doing interactive video disc, which they discovered they really couldn't make any money in. But the video post-production facility was quite profitable, both doing inside and outside work, so stayed with them. There I learned all kinds of things about video and also about computer graphics. The result was when they built a new network operations center and after a few weeks realized that things break and they were going to need some video engineers, I was selected because I had both a video and computer background. That's what you're looking at now, that very center. Now, that went along and I developed some techniques for doing digital splitting of video pictures across multiple screens to fill out a video wall, and was called upon in 1999 to build the new Global Network Operations Center. Here we are at the visitor entrance, an impressive place to say the least. Here we are where the customers would first be greeted, mosaic on the floor. This is the interior, which I shot during COVID. There's the customer center up top there, and this is the network operations center floor. Now here abandoned because of COVID, except for a few souls. But this was the greatest marketing tool ever conceived by the mind of man. Now today, we take high-resolution video for granted, but in 1999, it took a little more than that. Here I'm standing before an Onyx 2 supercomputer, costs $1 million in 1999. Next to it is a set of 5 Ciprico RAID array hard drives. Each one contains 9 hard drives, has an individual LED readout on it to tell you how many megabytes per second it was doing. Indeed, a lot of hardware. Here, you see me with a set of 27 random access video playback devices, which were all rigged to run in harmony to fill out one continuous 6K image. Yes, it was 6,100 pixels wide by 1,392 pixels tall. Indeed, a very, very impressive display for 1999. The customers would be led into this highly tiered amphitheater where they'd be seated, and at the press of a touchscreen, the lights would automatically go down, and on the screen would begin a presentation which was delivered on a 30-foot wide by 8-foot screen. Originally, it was produced by 3 giant projectors. Each one had a huge xenon arc lamp in the thing the size of a basketball, fins all over it. Only lasted 500 hours, cost thousands of dollars. It literally cost $20 an hour for lamps just to run this thing. And they figured starting the lamp was equivalent to a half hour's run time. So it was literally $10 just to turn this monstrosity on. This was then fed from that Onyx 2 supercomputer that you saw, and all those Ciprico RAID arrays with 3 high-resolution images which were designed to overlap. And these projectors were designed so that they faded out the images on their edges as they faded in on the adjacent projector to provide one contiguous image across this monstrous screen. The customers had never seen anything like it. In the ceiling above was huge speakers, 15-inch woofers. This was 5.1 surround sound back when that was something. Underneath this highly tiered amphitheater were 2 subwoofers the size of refrigerators, and each one had its own 3,000-watt amplifier with capacitors the size of small garbage cans. When you cranked this thing up, I said there were 2 seats of sexual satisfaction. It was so severe. In the end, we actually had to disconnect one of the subwoofers because it was just too violent in the conference rooms below. But anyway, I would sneak up into the projection booth behind this thing where I had a set of backup controls for the presenter just in case something went wrong. And I would watch, and as the wall went up, and the people saw, yes, the masterpiece, the $90 million marketing masterpiece that had been created, their mouths would drop open. They knew that AT&T had its finger on the pulse of the entire communications world. And they were wowed. Yes. And I felt the roar of the crowd that I think only performing artists can feel. Or perhaps athletes when the crowd roars and it goes through you. It's knowing you have done your job well. Now you know that you want to press subscribe if you haven't already. But some of you are leery to give out your email address. The professor understands. He gave it to Tractor Supply and now he can't unsubscribe and they just bombard him continuously. Such was not the case when he signed up to YouTube 23 days ago. I have received no junk mail, only 2 mails to let me know that I had instituted 2-step verification. No other junk mail came to me. Now, this is not a guarantee, but you should hit subscribe.